From a Hall of Fame offensive guard who went from consuming entire pizzas as snacks to dropping over 100 pounds,
you don't get this ring without, pushing the limit.
To the defensive tackle who traded his 345-pound frame for an 80-pound lighter physique.
What did you really weigh, Vince, for most of your career?
In game time, I'll be anywhere from 345 to 350.
In this video, we're taking a look at NFL players who completely lost their iconic physiques after hanging up their cleats. Joe Thomas. When you think of consistency and excellence in the NFL, few names command as much respect as Joe Thomas. The Cleveland Browns offensive tackle was a 10-time Pro Bowler, 7-time first-team All-Pro, and was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame in 2023.
With that said, it's the greatest honor of my career to be able to accept this lifetime award on behalf of all of Browns Nation.
For over a decade, Thomas was quite literally an unmovable object on the football field, anchoring Cleveland's offensive line with a combination of size, skill, and unwavering dedication. During his playing career, Thomas maintained a weight of approximately 311 pounds, a necessary mass that allowed him to go toe-to-toe with some of the most fearsome pass rushers in the game. However, his transformation began almost immediately after his retirement. Within 9 months of hanging up his cleats, Thomas had shed an astounding 50 pounds. Bringing his weight down to approximately 260 pounds.
I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to find a way to stay in shape. I enjoyed biking, but you can't do that year-round in Wisconsin. I've had 5 knee surgeries, so running was out of the question. I needed something that had no impact on my joints. I decided to start swimming again.
But this wasn't a gradual, uncertain process. This was a methodical, science-based approach that demonstrated the same level of preparation and dedication that had made him a Hall of Fame player. Thomas adopted a ketogenic diet combined with intermittent fasting, dramatically reducing his daily caloric intake from the massive amounts required during his playing days to a more reasonable 1,500, 2,000 calories daily. The contrast is staggering when you consider that during his playing career, he was consuming upwards of 7,000 calories per day just to maintain his weight. He also took up swimming, and the results were nothing short of remarkable. But there was also a professional element to his transformation. Thomas transitioned into a role as an NFL network analyst, and the demands of television work benefited from a more conventional appearance. The transformation wasn't just about health, it was about reinventing himself for the next chapter of his career. Faneca. Among the pantheon of NFL greats who have undergone remarkable post-retirement transformations, few stories are as inspiring or as methodically executed as that of Faneca. The former offensive guard who played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, New York Jets, and Arizona Cardinals from 1998 to 2010 was a 9-time Pro Bowler, 6-time first-team All-Pro, NFL Hall of Famer inducted in 2021, and Super Bowl XL champion. His credentials on the field were impeccable, but his post-retirement journey would prove that his greatest victory might have come after hanging up his cleats. During his distinguished 13-year NFL career, Faneca maintained a playing weight of approximately 320 pounds, a massive frame that made him one of the most dominant interior linemen of his era. Playing primarily as a guard, Faneca was known for his combination of size, strength, and surprising athleticism. His ability to move such a large frame with precision and power made him a cornerstone of some very successful offensive lines, particularly during Pittsburgh's Super Bowl winning seasons.
Yeah, you don't get to where we are. You don't get this ring without, pushing the limit.
But perhaps the most remarkable chapter of Faneca's story began after his retirement in 2010. Over the years following his departure from professional football, Faneca would go on to lose an astounding 105 pounds, bringing his weight down to approximately 215 pounds. Rather than relying on extreme dieting or controversial methods, Faneca focused on fundamental changes, running and adopting a healthier overall diet with reduced calorie intake. The mental and physical transformation required to go from 325-pound offensive guard to marathon finisher represents one of the most dramatic athletic transitions imaginable. The motivation behind Faneca's transformation was focused on creating a sustainable lifestyle to improve both his health and longevity.
Probably don't need to be 325 the rest of my life. At 44 years old, just living life. So I said, when I'm done, I'm gonna give it a shot. And I said it long enough as soon as I decided I was pretty close to retiring.
Unlike some transformations driven by short-term goals or external pressures, Faneca's approach was clearly oriented toward long-term health and quality of life. Faneca's transformation has gained notable attention within NFL circles and media coverage due to his Hall of Fame status and the dramatic nature of his physical change. His story has become a frequent reference point in discussions about post-retirement health for NFL players, particularly linemen who face unique challenges related to their playing weight and the long-term health implications of maintaining such extreme size. Yanda. If Joe Thomas's transformation was methodical and measured, then Marshall Yanda's weight loss journey reads like something out of a fitness magazine's Amazing Transformation section. The Baltimore Ravens offensive guard, an 8-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-team All-Pro, and Super Bowl Excelsis Center champion, accomplished something that even fitness experts would consider remarkable, losing 64 pounds in just 4 months. During his illustrious 13-year career with the Ravens, Yanda maintained a playing weight of approximately 312 pounds. This massive frame wasn't just for show, it was a carefully crafted tool that allowed him to dominate some of the most fearsome defensive players in the game. Yanda was known for his combination of size and athleticism, a rare blend that made him one of the most feared offensive linemen of his generation. But when Yanda retired following the 2019 season, something almost magical happened. Within 4 months of retirement, he had shed those 64 pounds, dropping his weight to approximately 248 pounds. The most fascinating aspect of Yanda's transformation isn't just the numbers, it's how effortless the process seemed to be once he stopped actively maintaining his playing weight. During his career, like most linemen, Yanda was consuming massive quantities of food, not because he was particularly hungry, but because maintaining 312 pounds of functional muscle and mass required constant nutritional input.
I had to always constantly watch him to make sure I was enough. So I was always eating and more calories and just keeping an eye on it.
The moment he stopped this artificial feeding process, his body naturally began to return to what was probably a more natural weight for his frame and metabolism. What makes Yanda's story particularly compelling is his own reflection on how the weight loss made him feel. He has been quoted as saying he felt so much better physically after shedding the artificial weight required for his position. This sentiment echoes a common theme among retired linemen, the realization that their playing weight, while necessary for their position, was actually detrimental to their overall health and well-being. The motivation behind Yanda's transformation was fundamentally about reversing the physical toll of maintaining an oversized frame. During his playing career, Yanda's body was essentially carrying around an extra 60+ pounds every single day. Imagine strapping on a 60-pound backpack and wearing it constantly. The stress on joints, cardiovascular system, and overall mobility would be immense. That's essentially what NFL linemen do to their bodies throughout their careers. His approach was straightforward: eat less, maintain exercise, and allow the body to find its natural equilibrium. The results speak for themselves. 64 pounds lost in 4 months, dramatically improved health markers, and a quality of life that he described as significantly better than during his playing days. Russell Okung. In the world of dramatic NFL retirement transformations, few stories are as polarizing or as extreme as that of Russell Okung. The former offensive tackle, who played for the Seattle Seahawks, Denver Broncos, Los Angeles Chargers, and Carolina Panthers from 2010 to 2020, was a 2-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl champion. But Okung's post-retirement journey would generate headlines for reasons that went far beyond his impressive football resume. During his 11-year NFL career, Okung maintained a playing weight of approximately 310 pounds. A massive frame that allowed him to protect some of the game's most talented quarterbacks. Known for his athletic ability and outspoken personality both on and off the field, Okung was never one to do things conventionally. This unconventional approach would define his post-retirement transformation in ways that shocked the sports world. Following his retirement in 2020, Okung embarked on a weight loss journey that would see him lose over 150 pounds. While this number alone would be remarkable for any transformation story, it was Okung's method that generated both fascination and concern throughout the sports and medical communities.
I knew at that very moment there was one answer: fasting.
The most controversial aspect of Okung's transformation was his decision to lose 100 pounds in just 40 days through what he called a water fast. This extreme approach involved consuming only water for extended periods, a method that medical experts criticized for its lack of medical supervision and potential health risks. Following the initial water fast period, Okung did transition to more conventional dietary changes, suggesting that even he recognized the unsustainable nature of such extreme fasting protocols. The attention generated by Okung's transformation has been amplified by his already high-profile personality and his advocacy for various causes, including cryptocurrency adoption in professional sports. His outspoken nature means that his transformation journey has been more public and more scrutinized than those of many other retired players. Vince Wilfork. In the pantheon of beloved NFL personalities, few players have captured the hearts of fans quite like Vince Wilfork, the massive defensive tackle who played for the New England Patriots and Houston Texans from 2004 to 2016, was a 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time Super Bowl champion, and became known as much for his larger-than-life personality as his dominant play. Off the field, Wilfork became a cultural icon, beloved for his infectious personality, his love of good food, and his role as an unofficial BBQ ambassador for the sport. During his 13-year NFL career, career, Wilfork maintained a playing weight of approximately 345 pounds, though this likely fluctuated higher in his later years.
What did you really weigh, Vince, for most of your career?
In game time, I'll be anywhere from 345 to 350.
This massive frame wasn't just impressive, it was functional. As a nose tackle in the Patriots' defense, Wilfork's job was to occupy multiple blockers, stuff running lanes, and create chaos in opposing backfields. His combination of size, strength, and surprising agility made him one of the most effective defensive tackles of his generation. But what made Wilfork truly special was how he embraced his size as part of his identity. Unlike many large NFL players who seem burdened by their weight, Wilfork appeared to genuinely enjoy food, cooking, and the social aspects of eating. Following his retirement in 2016, Wilfork embarked on a transformation that would see him lose approximately 80 pounds, bringing his weight down to around 245 pounds. This 80-pound loss represents one of the most significant transformations among retired NFL players, but what makes it particularly impressive is that Wilfork achieved this while maintaining his love for food and cooking. The gentle giant's transformation from 345-pound defensive tackle to 245-pound family man represents more than just weight loss. It represents an evolution of priorities and approach to health that maintains the essential character while improving the overall quality of life. Vince Wilfork's journey proves that you don't have to choose between being who you are and being healthy. You just have to find ways to be a healthier version of who you already are. Nick Hardwick. In the world of NFL transformations, few stories combine scientific precision with inspiring personal determination quite like that of Nick Hardwick. The former San Diego Chargers center, who played from 2004 to 2014, may have been less decorated than some other players on this list as a Pro Bowl alternate, but he was widely respected for his 11-year career and leadership qualities. During his playing career with the Chargers, Hardwick maintained a weight of approximately 295 pounds, a size that was essential for his role anchoring the offensive line. As a center, Hardwick was responsible for making protection calls, snapping the ball, and going head-to-head with some of the most powerful nose tackles in the game. Unfortunately, Hardwick's playing career came to an abrupt end in 2014 due to a neck injury, a sobering reminder of the physical toll that NFL careers exact on players' bodies. This forced retirement became the catalyst for one of the most dramatic and well-documented transformation stories in professional sports.
The nerves weren't conducting the way they were supposed to be, and my hands were kind of lobster clawing. So I knew that was it for my career. So following week 1 of 2014, I started on a plan to lose weight.
Within just 4 months of retiring, Hardwick had lost an astounding 85 pounds, dropping his weight from 295 pounds to approximately 210 pounds. This represents nearly 30% of his body weight lost in less than half a year, a transformation so rapid and dramatic that it caught the attention of sports scientists, nutritionists, and medical professionals interested in studying the unique challenges faced by retired NFL players. What makes Hardwick's transformation particularly fascinating is the methodical approach he took. His method involved dramatically reducing his caloric intake from the massive 7,000 calories daily he consumed during his playing career, implementing intermittent fasting protocols, and incorporating yoga and walking into his daily routine.
I put together a little plan for myself based on some diets that I had read up on, and through my knowledge of losing weight as a high school wrestler and gaining 100 pounds as an NFL football player, I knew how to manipulate my body, and it was all through diet.
The scale of Hardwick's dietary change cannot be overstated. During his playing career, consuming 7,000 calories daily was not about enjoyment. It was about job performance. This massive caloric intake was necessary to maintain the 295-pound frame required for his position. The moment he stopped this artificial feeding process, his body began to rapidly return to what was probably a more natural weight for his frame and metabolism. One of the most remarkable aspects of Hardwick's physical transformation was an unexpected side effect that illustrates just how much stress extreme weight places on the human body. Following his weight loss, Hardwick actually grew an 1.5 inches taller due to reduced spinal compression. This physical change provides compelling evidence of the tremendous pressure that carrying 295 pounds placed on his skeletal system throughout his playing career. What sets Hardwick apart from many other transformation stories is his commitment to sharing his knowledge and experience with others. His advocacy for post-NFL health has made him a prominent voice in discussions about the unique challenges faced by retired players. He has been particularly vocal about the health risks associated with maintaining extreme playing weights and the benefits of post-retirement transformation. Jordan Gross. In the landscape of NFL transformation stories, few players have been as candidly honest about the artificial nature of playing weight as Jordan Gross. The former Carolina Panthers offensive tackle, who played from 2003 to 2013, was a three-time Pro Bowler All-Rookie Team selection in 2003 and started in Super Bowl, but perhaps his most valuable contribution to understanding NFL player health came not from his on-field achievements, but from his brutally honest assessment of what it takes to maintain an NFL lineman's physique and what happens when that artificial requirement is removed. During his 11-year career protecting Panthers quarterbacks, Gross maintained a playing weight of approximately 305 pounds, a size that was crucial for his effectiveness as a left tackle. Playing one of the most demanding positions in football, protecting the quarterback's blind side required not just size, but the strength and agility to handle the most athletic pass rushers in the game. Gross excelled at this role throughout his career, earning Pro Bowl recognition and becoming a cornerstone of Panthers' offensive lines for over a decade. But Gross always understood something that many fans and even some players don't fully grasp. His playing weight was completely artificial, a construction maintained through extreme dietary measures that had nothing to do with natural body composition or optimal health. When Gross retired following the 2013 season, he embarked on a transformation that would see him lose 70 pounds within 7 months, dropping from 305 pounds to approximately 235 pounds. This dramatic change represented more than just weight loss. It was a complete reimagining of his relationship with food, exercise, and physical health.
I just knew it was important for all the work I put in and the damage I did to my body. It's important to get fit from here on out.
The honesty with which Gross described his playing diet provides one of the most illuminating windows into the extreme measures NFL linemen take to maintain their size. He candidly shared details about his daily consumption during his playing career, which included eating entire pizzas as single meals. This wasn't occasional indulgence. This was a systematic approach to consuming the massive quantities of food necessary to maintain 305 pounds of functional muscle and mass. Gross's approach to post-retirement nutrition involved switching to what he called sensible diets, experimenting with both paleo and vegetarian approaches.
What I eat, I try to eat, lean foods, fruits and vegetables, try to not eat anything that's not processed. More often throughout the day to try to speed up my metabolism, and then I just get exercise every day.
Rather than adopting a single rigid diet plan, he explored different nutritional philosophies to find what worked best for his body and lifestyle. The dramatic nature of Gross's transformation wasn't lost on him personally. He has described becoming obsessed with weight loss during the initial months of his retirement, a reaction that speaks to both the relief of no longer having to maintain artificial weight and the excitement of discovering what his body could become when freed from those constraints. Gross's transformation story has gained particular prominence due to his willingness to speak candidly about the health challenges and artificial nature of NFL playing weights. His transformation has been well documented due to his Panthers legacy and extensive ESPN coverage, making him a frequent reference point in discussions about post-retirement health for NFL players. Maurkice Pouncey. In the storied history of Pittsburgh Steelers football, few players have embodied the blue-collar work ethic and physical dominance quite like Maurkice Pouncey. The former center, who played for the Pittsburgh Steelers from 2010 to 2020, was a 9-time Pro Bowler and 2-time first-team All-Pro, known for his excellent career alongside his twin brother Mike Pouncey, who also played in the NFL. His decade-long tenure anchoring one of the NFL's most physical offensive lines would be impressive enough on its own, but Maurkice's post-retirement transformation story adds another remarkable chapter to his legacy. Throughout his distinguished NFL career, Pouncey maintained a playing weight of approximately 300 pounds, a substantial frame that was essential for his effectiveness as a center in the Steelers' power-running offense. As the quarterback of the offensive line, Pouncey was responsible for making protection calls, handling the snap count, and going head-to-head with some of the most powerful nose tackles in the league. His combination of size, intelligence, and leadership made him one of the most respected centers of his generation. But when Pouncey retired following the 2020 season, he embarked on a transformation journey that would fundamentally change both his physical appearance and his approach to health and nutrition. Since retiring, Pouncey has lost approximately 70 pounds from his playing weight of 300 pounds, bringing him down to around 230 pounds.
And honestly, everyone's like, they ask us all the time, like, how do you guys eat? I say, like, rabbits. He say, well, what do you mean?
The approach Pouncey took to his transformation involved what his brother Mike described as learning to eat like rabbits after years of consuming the massive quantities of food required to maintain NFL playing weight. This colorful skillful description perfectly captures the dramatic shift in eating habits that many retired NFL players must make when transitioning from artificially maintaining extreme weight to pursuing optimal health. Pouncey's transformation has gained significant traction due to both his individual fame and his family's collective profile in the NFL. The Pouncey twins were well-known figures throughout their careers, not just for their individual accomplishments, but for their combined impact on the league. This high profile has made Maurkice's transformation particularly visible and influential within NFL circles. Matt Birk. In the landscape of NFL transformations, few stories combine intellectual approach with dramatic physical results quite like that of Matt Birk. The former center, who played for the Minnesota Vikings and Baltimore Ravens from 1998 to 2012, was a six-time Pro Bowler Super Bowl champion and is notably known for his intelligence as a Harvard graduate. His academic credentials and football success positioned him uniquely to approach his post-retirement transformation with both the intellectual rigor of a scholar and the disciplined determination of an elite athlete. During his impressive 15-year NFL career, Birk maintained a playing weight of approximately 310 pounds, a substantial frame that allowed him to excel at one of football's most demanding positions. As a center, Birk was responsible for making protection calls, handling the snap count, and anchoring offensive lines for two different franchises. His longevity in the league, spanning nearly a decade and a half, speaks to both his physical durability and his intellectual mastery of his position's complexities. But perhaps the most remarkable chapter of Birk's story began after his retirement following the Ravens' Super Bowl victory in 2012. Following his departure from professional football, Birk embarked on a transformation that would see him lose 75 pounds, bringing his weight down from 310 pounds to approximately 235 pounds. This dramatic 75-pound loss represents nearly a quarter of his total body weight, a transformation so significant that it fundamentally changed not just his appearance, but his entire approach to health and fitness.
I'm just not built to be 300 pounds naturally. I really had to work at it to keep that weight on. And so when I was done playing, I was kind of excited to go to a more natural weight for my body.
What sets Birk's transformation apart from many others is the systematic, almost scientific approach he took to achieving his goals. Rather than relying on trial and error methods or extreme measures, Birk partnered with Body by Vitalis for a comprehensive nutrition plan, maintained an active exercise regimen, and even modeled for the company. This partnership represents more than just a business relationship. It demonstrates Birk's commitment to finding evidence-based, sustainable approaches to dramatic lifestyle change. Birk's transformation story has gained particular prominence due to his unique combination of football success, academic achievement, and dramatic physical change. His high-profile career and media coverage have made his transformation notable within both NFL circles and broader discussions about health and fitness. His story has become a frequent reference point for discussions about intelligent approaches to weight loss and the importance of systematic thinking in achieving health goals. The longevity of Birk's NFL career, 15 years, also adds significance to his transformation story. Players who sustain such long careers often face greater challenges in retirement because they've spent more years maintaining artificial playing weights and developing eating habits that serve career performance rather than long-term health. The fact that Birk was able to successfully transform after such an extended career demonstrates that it's never too late to make dramatic positive changes, regardless of how entrenched previous habits might be. Jason Kelce. In the pantheon of beloved NFL personalities, few players have captured the hearts of fans quite like Jason Kelce. The former Philadelphia Eagles center, who played from 2011 to 2023, was a 7-time Pro Bowler, 6-time first-team All-Pro, Super Bowl champion, and is beloved for his leadership both on and off the field, as well as his popular New Heights podcast with brother Travis Kelce. Unlike many of the other transformation stories on this list, Kelce's journey represents a transformation in progress, offering a real-time glimpse into how elite NFL players approach the challenge of post-retirement health optimization. During his remarkable 13-year career anchoring the Eagles' offensive line, Kelce maintained a playing weight of approximately 295 pounds, a substantial frame that allowed him to excel at one of football's most demanding positions. As a center, Kelce was responsible for making protection calls, handling the snap count, and serving as the intellectual leader of Philadelphia's offensive line. His combination of size, intelligence, and leadership made him one of the most respected centers of his generation and a crucial component of the Eagles' Super Bowl winning team. But what makes Kelce's story particularly compelling is that we're witnessing his transformation journey in real time. Since retiring following the 2023 season, Kelce has already lost approximately 20 pounds by mid-2024, with reports indicating that he's aiming to lose an additional 20 pounds. This gradual, measured approach represents a stark contrast to some of the more dramatic, rapid transformations we've seen from other retired players. The approach Kelce is taking to his ongoing transformation involves adjusted diet and maintained exercise, with a focus on sustainable weight loss for health and family considerations. This methodical approach reflects the same systematic thinking that made him successful as an NFL player, but applied to the challenge of optimizing his health for the next chapter of his life. The motivation driving Kelce's transformation is fundamentally about being healthier for his children and adapting to his post-NFL media career. This family-centered motivation reflects a mature understanding that personal health decisions impact not just the individual, but everyone who depends on them. For Kelce, transformation isn't just about personal improvement, it's about being the best possible father and husband for decades to come. And with that, we've come to the end of this deep dive. For more juicy content like this, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and check out the cards showing on your screen for more videos. Don't forget to comment your thoughts below.